Welcome back to Mini-Modelog. So I'm going to do Spiteclaw Swarm, and I realised that because my table's brown and the sprues are brown, it might be easy to see if I pop some paper down. So I've popped some paper down. Remember, all you need to put these together is the models and a decent pair of clippers. Again, these are from the Essential set that I've done a review for quite a long time ago, and I'll pop a link up for that video, which will actually be the playlist for all the paint set unboxings. So do go check them out if you haven't already. So let's get into Spiteclaw Swarm. Obviously, I need the instructions again, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bob them down here, and you probably won't see them too well, but I'll try and keep all the action otherwise here. So we'll bob the remaining bits out the way, so I don't really need those. But I do need this sprue. So first thing I always do, find out which bits I need first. So I need bits 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to do Spiteclaw. Some of them pretty easy. So I'll bring it up to camera a little bit, like that. There we go. So that's number 1. Number 2 is that one. Number 3 is the rest of his body, which is that. 4 is his arm. And of course 5 is his base, which I think is that one there. So what I'll do first is what I always do when I do these models, I'll clip them all out. Remember, with certain bits of the model, I believe possibly that piece for sure. I think this one actually only has one thing that goes into the base. Now with a lot of the others it's 2 or 3, but remember not to chop those pegs off when you come to chop them out. But let's get cutting. I'm really looking forward to getting these guys into my AOS army as much as playing them in Shadespire. Obviously, if you haven't checked out the fact that they do have rules available, if you've got the AOS app, they're pretty much on there. I'm finding with this model in particular, around the tail and around the cape there, of this one, that you got to be careful when clipping so you don't break the tail. So be careful of that when you come to do it. I'll zoom you in a little bit more so you can see a bit more. Oh, wrong way. Let's zoom you in a bit more. There we go. So now you'll be able to see down here. So obviously that's first bit. Remember when you're clipping, try to go as close as you can, and always check once you're done that you're happy with the cut. Make sure there's nothing needs kind of cleaning up. I've had a couple of occasions where I've trimmed and I need to then cut the bobble back. They're the first 2 parts, and then obviously we've got his body. Now, one thing about Skaven, which I will go on and on and on about, because it's happened to me time and time again, is the tails tend to break. So be really careful when you're messing about with them and transporting them, because I've had tails break time and time again, and they're not the easiest thing to put back on at all. Obviously there I had to do a little bit of kind of surgery on the bit that's on his helmet there, just to make sure it fits right. So sections 1 and 2 go together first, which is this one and this one. There we go. So first bits first, you push this bit into this bit. Sorry about the little bit of focusing there. I might kind of, you might have had a bit of a fade there to just get around that. But what we do is you take this part here and this part here, and simply, he says simply, push them. Again, there are a bit of seaming down that side. I don't know if you can see that seaming there. And there's obviously the bit where I've cut it off the sprue there, but that cut off is flat, so that's going to disappear when I bob some paint on. And of course the seam normally does when you bob some paint on. But that's the first bit, and that's what that should look like. You then onto his body. So you get his body, which is that part. Obviously making sure it's the right way around, and then push it into the top half of the model. Again with this, take your time, don't rush. Make sure you've actually linked up the parts properly before pushing too hard. So the last thing you want to do is break something. But they do need a bit of oomph to get them in, so. Oh. So don't be afraid of pushing, but just make sure when you do push, you're not pushing anything that's likely to break. So that's pretty much where I'm up to. I'm having real problems with my thing today, so do apologise for that. But that's where I'm up to. So it's really taking shape relatively quickly, like most of them have. So we're now on to literally one arm and the base. So I'll bob him back down there. There's the arm. And let's just get the base out. And the base. So pretty much now, I've literally just got to put the arm in, which comes up there. Looks as if there's a bit of thing to trim there. That's a first. Never really had to trim anything on these before. I have this time, so that's interesting. Out of all of them, that's the first time I've had to do that. So let's just... Oh, not push fitting very well. Make sure I've got this in the right place. Oh, might help if I get it the right way around. There we go. There we go. It does go in. Took a few goes, and then literally he just then goes straight in the bottom of the base. So that, if I can get it to, is Spiteclaw. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'm really sorry about some of the zooming in and out issues that I was having, but that's what it should look like. Not a lot of parts to him, but again, they look amazing. Considering it's really easy to put together, no glue required. Take your time pushing the bits together, and I'll see you next time, which hopefully will be mid-month news, I believe, next week. Hopefully now my subscribe button will be popping up, my playlist for Shadespire, and of course what I did earlier in the week, which was the unboxing for Shadespire. But I'll see you next time.